Coach PJ here. If you had no limitations, what would you do in your business? Let's start out with some simple things. Thinking about if you had $5,000 to do anything you wanted within your business. It was a grant that was given to you. It was money that was given to you. You could do anything you want. What would it be? Well, I was asking a group of business owners this morning this exact question. What would you do if you had a sum of money in your business? And the answers are very interesting because one of them said that they would actually hire somebody. Great concept, because they wanted to create leverage and they wanted to bring more and have some projects done. So they wanted to hire someone. Another person thought more about using technology and what could they do for the technology. Another one was talking about time. They wanted more time. It wasn't about the money, it was more about the time to do things. So then you take that and you say, okay, you've decided what you want to do. So what would you have to get, or what would the results need to be in order for it to be worth spending that amount of money, whether it's $1,000, $5,000, or $10,000? What would it have to yield for you? And then you start to put the numbers to it and say, well, it would be worth it if I got 1 new client, 4 new clients. What would the outcome have to be? And then you start to think, well, if I had no limitations, I would do it in a heartbeat. I would spend the money, I would go after it. And what I reminded them all and what we were talking about is the concept that as young children, we don't have any limitations. We see the world as endless possibilities. When someone asks you as a small child, what do you want to be? You tell them you want to be a professional volleyball player. You want to be a superhero. You don't put any limitations on that. And as we get older and older and older, we put limitations on ourselves. We actually qualify, well, I can't do that and I can't do that. And we have all these filters that just weigh heavier and heavier on us over the years as we become more and more practical, more and more realistic, and we stop dreaming or stop ourselves before we actually even get to what could be possible. So I'm challenging them to really think about, what would you do if you had this amount of money? What would you do if you didn't have any limitations? What would that look like? And then I recall a conversation with the business owner yesterday about not taking on an order or not wanting to do more because I just don't know if I can take these orders in. They're getting so big. And I'm thinking, well, what do you mean you can't take the orders in? Under what conditions would you take those orders? And the conversation changed dramatically, because the conversation went from, I can't handle that capacity, especially as we enter into the holiday season, to, well, I'd have to bring someone on full time, or I'd have to make a decision so that I knew that I had enough resources in house to take care of this, and I could no longer do it, or I'd have to outsource someone and make sure that that work was getting done. But when you start to take the limitations away and say, under what conditions would you take this on? What would they have to do? And sometimes I'll challenge my clients to say, would you do it for $1 million? And we start at this most extreme level. And I asked her this question, would you do it for $1 million? And she said, absolutely. I said, okay, so you're not going to get $1 million. Let's assume you're not going to get $500,000. But at what point is it worth it to do it? And what are the conditions? But only after we take away the opportunities, the limitations, and we actually explore all the opportunities in front of us, can we truly entertain under what conditions. And so I go back to the original conversation I had this morning, under what conditions would you do what you suggested you would do with the money, even if you didn't have the money? And all of a sudden, different ideas started to flow. Well, I'd engage this group of people, or I'd ask for help here. And all of a sudden, what was possible is actually on the table. When a half an hour before, it wasn't even possible. It was a dream. It was not even a thought. So the challenge for you is to understand what filters you're putting on things, what limitations you're putting on things, before they even get a chance to take root as ideas or theories or great new concepts. If you like this video today, comment, subscribe below. If this is something you'd like to talk more about, we can get together, have coffee, get on a Zoom call, Or if you know this is exactly what you need, let's sit down, look at your business, and put a plan in place to go forward. Your business profit. Until next time.